For the wisdom of St Ignatius, I brought you outside the chapel of the Jesuit Retreat Center of Los Altos to the statue of St Ignatius Loyola that looks out over this beautiful courtyard that we have here. I brought you here not because I'm particularly attracted to this statue. In many ways, I don't particularly like it. He looks perhaps too saintly, too cool, not a very emotional person. And St. Ignatius was anything but that. Maybe saintly, but not a cool or unemotional person. He was a man who had very profound passions. In fact, at one point in his life, shortly after his conversion, he was dedicated to so many mortifications, hours of prayer, service of other people, that he had a very strong temptation come to him. And that temptation was, are you capable of doing this for the rest of your life? And in his imagination, he looked at this long life, the exhaustion and the effort this was taking him, and he wondered if one day he would just abandon it. And maybe it was made more sense to not follow this path because the future looked like it might be impossible for him. So as he wrestled with the temptation, it came to him, wait, this is the evil spirit. He said, in fact, the evil spirit cannot promise me a single day of life more. And here I am worried about years into the future. And so it taught him at that moment that what he needed to do was to be faithful in this particular moment, to do what God was calling him to do at that moment, and then God would take care of the future. And that's a marvelous lesson for us all, because we often are caught up with worries about the future. But meanwhile, the Lord is challenging us to be as faithful to him as we can right now. Not only to be faithful, but to find him in his love for us, in his kindness, in the graces that he gives us in this moment. And fear for the future can rob us of the great peace that we can have right now with the Lord. I remember a particular time in my life when I spent 7 years wrestling with what it was that I should do with my life. And the Lord constantly said, don't worry about that. I will reveal that to you when the time comes and you will know. But right now, be faithful to me. Aren't the things that you're doing now, working in the parish, working in the jails, aren't those things good enough for you? Do you have to know what you should do in the future? Be faithful to this, and in time, you'll know the future. How wonderful it is that the Lord comes to us in this present moment, and to experience him now, and to allow us, as St. Ignatius knew, to be faithful now, and allow the future to be hidden from us in the hands of God, to whom we've committed our lives. And that's the wisdom of St. Ignatius for today.